Going ahead and starting to record this. Okay, we started recording it now, so we can have this for our future references. And if anyone of you want to stop me or ask me a question, please go ahead and stop me at any point of time. Not a problem at all. Or you can ping me, and then we will address all the questions towards the end. Or if you're not following me, ping me or go ahead and pause and talk to me, and then I will answer to that question immediately. If you're not able to hear me properly also, please go ahead and stop me immediately. Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. So that was my background. So it's been 5 years now. I've been working on different domains with regards to the data science kind of problems. And I've been working on the financial domain for the stock markets. I've been working on the e-commerce domain, and I've worked on the retail sector also. So I've got a good wide experience with regards to what data science is all about, and then what is the skill set which is required. So let me start presenting my screen. Are you guys already able to view my screen? Can anybody confirm on the chat? Okay, let me try that again. Now, uh, yes, got the confirmation from Santosh. Okay, here we go. So let's get started. So what is data science all about? So let me start. Okay, here we go. So what data science is all about? You can go ahead and read this, but then I'll not go with the book definition by itself. I'll give you a definition by my experience what data science is all about. See, for any kind of a problem to be solved, a business problem to be very specific, if you are using data to validate it and then finding solution from the data itself becomes a data science. So basically something which is hidden in the data, which is not something which can be seen or which a business does not already know. Trying to find out something of this kind and trying to yeah, somebody has just joined. Can you go on mute, please? So so trying to solve a problem using data. I mean, so basically for any kind of a business problem you have, what you do is you go ahead, pull the data, and then try to solve that particular problem using data. And then there are n number of different kinds of statistical techniques which you can use and go ahead and solve the problem. So that becomes the basic fundamental role of a data scientist. So the data, we know data comes in different formats. There is structured data, there is unstructured data. We can get into these details when we start our sessions, but for the demo, let's not get into what structured data is or what unstructured data is. So overall, a data scientist, all he does is works with data to solve a business problem. That is what is his main goal would be. So why are we suddenly talking about a data scientist now? I mean, what changed? So data scientist or this kind of a role or this kind of a work is not new. This kind of work has been here for many, many, many years now, because all these statistical techniques which we use are not new. I mean, they have been here for ages. If you go ahead and talk to a statistician, he would have known what a linear regression is since like last 20, 30 years. So why are we talking about it now is because the amount of data that we are trying to generate right now. I don't know if you have an idea what a zettabyte is. Like 2.7 zettabytes of data already exists today. So, so how are we generating data? I mean, for if you can imagine, I can give you a very simple example. Uh, how many messages do you receive and send on WhatsApp in a day? Every time you send a message, it becomes a data point. Every time you unlock your phone, it becomes a data point. So, so for example, if you any of you guys have seen, Motorola has recently come up with a survey to see how balanced your life was with regards to using a mobile phone. So how did he do it? He is basically collecting data, and then he did some data scientist kind of analysis on that, and then he has come up with his result. So the amount of data currently in the market, in outside out there in the world, is 2.7 zettabytes. But what has happened suddenly is the computing power. Earlier, for example, a simple linear regression which I can run right now, if I pick up data and run a linear regression kind of an analysis, I would approximately take 5 minutes to run it. But earlier, the statisticians used to do it by hand. I mean, for one simple problem, they used to calculate everything using a calculator, pen, and a paper. So they used to take at least 6 months to come up with a solution. So, but now what happens is if I take 6 months to come up with a solution, probably the business problem itself will get invalidated. Maybe I will not even have that problem 6 months later. So there is no point if I take that kind of a time. But now, since I have computing power, everybody wants to explore or improve their own business or get advantage over their competitors. So that's the reason why we are all talking about data science now. Who are data scientists? We have already spoken. The person who combines statistics, mathematics, and programming. By programming, I don't mean any specific skill set in programming. At least a minimum level of programming that would be required, and that would be either R or Python. R or Python are pretty much very easy. I would actually not call them programming. It's an interface and very easy to learn, and then I can absolutely make you very comfortable in programming with R. So you should have that kind of a knowledge. So the person who solves business problems using data and statistical techniques is a data scientist. And what do data scientists do? Data scientists use different statistical techniques to solve a problem. Uh, and so here next, who is a big data analyst? So anybody would like to, I mean, anybody would like to answer who is a big data analyst and a data scientist? Anybody? Praveen, Santosh, or Shiva? Anyone? You have an idea? You can go ahead and say yes or no in the chat box, not a problem at all. Okay. Yeah.
I think
Yeah, please go ahead.
I think I think data analyst is like collecting the data and then from different sources,
Okay, Shiva, is it
like where
Shiva?
it is exist. No, it is Nagendra.
Okay, Nagendra, we are talking about a big data analyst. So we would like to know who a
Yes.
big data analyst is.
Okay. Uh,
No
yeah,
idea?
not sure.
No problem.
No.
So basically, big data analyst is somebody, see, the kind of volume the kind of data volume which we are receiving right now. For example, see, there are 100 people, probably, I'm taking a very small number. There could be thousands of people who are active right now on WhatsApp. Do you agree? Do you guys agree? So thousands of people must have been sending that good morning message. Did you guys come across this particular article which was rolled out yesterday by the Wall Street Journal, wherein in India, throughout the world, in the morning hours, it was identified that most of the mobiles are freezing, and the amount of data that was consumed in the morning was very high. And then this was the business problem as to people wanted to see why this is happening on a specific time period. This analysis was released worldwide yesterday. So they said This is happening because of the good morning messages which Indians are sending out every day in the morning. So how many of you receive a good morning message in different WhatsApp groups, and then how many of them do you receive? I receive at least 12 to 15 good morning messages every day in the morning. I wake up and see on my mobile there's WhatsApp is very active, and then I have 10 to 15 good morning messages. Do you guys also have the same feel?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so there has been an analysis which has been done. You can Google it, you will get the analysis. So it is because of the good morning messages. So unimaginable, right? We did not even think about it. The amount of data which, so this is called big data. So a big data analyst is basically, he does the same analysis, but he does it on a very, very high volume data. I mean, that's too huge. So this kind of a data has speed. Any data which has speed, the speed at which that particular data is generated is very high. So for example, WhatsApp. So thousands of people sending good morning at the same time. Does it have speed? Yes, it has speed. It should have variety. So somebody will just write happy good morning, and somebody will send you a photograph, somebody will send you a GIF. So this is the variety which we are talking about. So this has variety also. So, and so any data which has variety, volume, and velocity, the speed at which it is generated. So that's called big data. So somebody who works on this kind of data is a big data analyst. So what do they basically do is, see, if I am generating data at such a speed, my traditional databases like MySQL databases will not help me. I would require parallel processing. See, what happens is, if I have a server, there is a WhatsApp server to which the messages go, and from there it is distributed to the rest of the people. If there are millions of messages coming, and then if I'll have to send them sequentially, see, my SQL server works sequentially, right? It's like first in, first out. So if I will have to do it like that, my last good morning message, the WhatsApp server sends out the last good morning message sometime in the evening, so which is useless, right? So I will also have to be, my database should also have that speed. So that is where you call you that's where the big data analyst comes in. That is where all these databases which you must have heard, the big data, the Cassandra, the Mahout, or the Hive, the Pig, these all come into place to handle this kind of data. So that's a big data analyst. So I think, are you guys clear as to what a data scientist does and what a big data analyst does? Let's not combine both of them. Yes, there are instances where a data scientist does a big data kind of a role, because see, a data scientist will always need data to do his analysis. If that data is residing in Pig, Hive, or any kind of a big data technology, then I will have to have the capacity to download that data and then work on it. So that's what it is. So anything else you would like to know here, or is it clear? Or did I actually confuse you? You were better off earlier. You can just ping me. If you're silent, then I would accept that you guys are through it. So let's move on. So skill set of a data scientist. So there is no hard and fast skill set as which is required, but then I have outlined a lot of them based on my experience and what we look at. So analytical thinking is very important. So you should be able to think beyond what is given. I mean, so you should be able to basically connect the dots when you have a business problem and when you have a data. You should be able to connect, okay, this particular data, from this data I'm able to draw this particular insight. So this could be the reason for something happening in the business. So that way you should be able to create, you should be able to link these two things. Creativity is important. We will get back to why creativity is important. So mathematics and statistics is the basics. Computer science, I don't mean Java or anything of that kind. I mean simple programming. I mean, even to use a statistical technique. Praveen and Shiva, can you go on mute, please? So in order to use a simple statistical technique also, I will have to rely on my computer because I will have to go ahead and program it and then use it. So that's the reason why you'll have to know little computer science. You should have business. So you should know business. So any problem which you're solving, if you do not understand the business itself, then we will not be able to provide any kind of a value to the business itself. So basically, what you are expected is being a data scientist, you will have your hands uh, being dirty in different kinds of environments. So somebody will have to work in a finance related business problem. Somebody will work on an e-commerce related business problem. So you're not expected to know each and every business, but you are expected to know whom to reach out to. So for every business, there will be a subject matter expert. So you'll have to go ahead and talk to them, know about their business, and then try to solve the problem. Programming and computer science are the same again. So data visualization, we'll come back. Data visualization and creativity, why is it important? We'll come back to it. Communication is very important. See, because see, for example, if you have spent around 1 month or 1.5 months trying to solve a business problem using data, uh, and then you, on your final day, you have a meeting with your customer, and then you're trying to explain what you have found out, and if the customer is not even understanding what you're trying to tell, so there's no point we trying to do that analysis for 1.5 months, right? So so it's very important how do you communicate what you have found out. So that's with regards to the communication. Nothing, see, all the skill set which I have listed here are important, and they're not not that something which cannot be learned. I mean, these things are very, very simple to learn. I mean, communication does not mean your natural way of talking to somebody. It's about how do you present your data. So that is something which can be learned. So moving on. So data scientist versus big data professional versus data analyst. We have seen that data scientist solves a business problem.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Somebody, please go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Nagendra here. In the computer science part, what it will come under that aspect? I
Computer
mean,
science. So basically, here I meant programming. Programming and computer science should have been combined here. So R is something which we are going to teach in this course. So using R, doing any statistical analysis using R is something which we will teach you. So that is what is I meant. Uh,
and in the
and
program, what it will come though if it is uh,
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
yeah, in the programming it is there, right?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
the
I should have actually combined them. Programming, computer science and programming are the same thing. I somehow have them as two different points. So I'll go ahead and remove computer science or programming there. So I meant the same
oh,
thing by writing both of them.
yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah. So we have already gone ahead and then we have discussed what a data scientist is, what a big data professional does, and what a data analyst is. Now, so we have not discussed what a data analyst is. So data scientist will actually do the statistical analysis part of it. Data analyst, basically the kind of a role data analyst plays is basically reporting, a lot of reporting that needs to be done in a business. So what was my monthly sales, what was my quarterly sales, what was my daily sales, this kind of data. This kind of data in every business, a business leader, the higher management wants to know it. So a data analyst is a person who actually collates data and then makes reports and sends out reports. That's the role of a data analyst. So most of the times data analyst and data scientist roles overlap, but there are many organizations where there is a clear differentiation as to what a data analyst does and what a data scientist does. So that's about it. Move on. Okay, so let me discuss what a data scientist is, what a big data professional is, what can be done, what cannot be done. So basically, we're going to use R for programming. Uh, Even if you have not written a single line of code in the past, not a problem at all. R is pretty much very simple and can be learned very quickly and very easily. You just have to know all the statistical techniques. So you just have to Google and then you have the code available. So it's pretty much easy. So we will here teach you to be pretty much comfortable in R. So you can go ahead and write in your resume you are an expert in R. So that level of coaching, yeah, definitely we are going to give you. So what are the kinds of problems which a data scientist solves or can be solved? How many of you have seen this particular problem on your WhatsApp? Almost all of you. So can we solve this problem using a data science kind of an approach? Anyone? Okay. So yes.
Uh,
Yeah, please
I'm
go
just
ahead.
yeah, I'm just guessing that for each and every like one is pizza and one is glass, right? So we have to assign each variable to some value and then sum it up,
Okay.
whatever we're performing.
Yes. That's absolutely right, Nagendra. So, but then what you're trying to do is see whatever you're thinking, assigning a different variable for each one of them. That's absolutely perfect. What if instead of just a burger bottle and a glass, what if I have hundred kinds of an items here? Will you still be able to do it in that way?
No.
It becomes a very tidy problem. But using data science, I can solve this problem like in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. So that's the point here. So yes, these kinds of problems can be solved using a data science approach, and it is pretty much very easy. We don't even have to assign variables here. That's the question. That's the interesting point. I mean, the system will be able to understand what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do. So pretty much very simple. We can solve this problem here. Uh, this is a very so this was I mean this was a fun kind of an exercise here. But then let's talk about the actual business problems which were solved using data science. So Adidas. So most of you must have uh, most of you should know that for any industry, gaining a new customer is pretty much very difficult and rather than retaining an existing customer. If you want to add a new customer, the amount of effort which goes into adding a new customer, even if you put 10% of that effort on your existing customer, you can retain him. And if a new customer using a new customer, if your profit is 100 rupees in a year, using an existing customer, your profit will be 200 rupees. So every business knows this, and everybody will strive to retain their customers. So this was the business problem for Adidas. So how did they solve it? So what did they do is, so they have a chip. If you guys are able to see my, okay, let me use this. See this one, if you're able to see this is a chip. So Adidas has gone ahead and invented a new chip, and then when you're buying your new pair of shoe, it comes in with this chip. So what does this chip do is it will track it. It is kind of a Fitbit tracker. It will track your distance you have traveled in a day, the number of steps which you have taken, or if you're running on a flat ground, or if you're running on a mountain or a hill, or if you're running in water, or if you're running in sand, and the number of calories which you have burned. So it will actually basically track everything. What was your heartbeat when you're running, and what is the amount of distance you ran? So it will measure all of this, and then over a period of time it will know, okay, on an average, say for example Santosh has this, and then Santosh is running, and then he has used this device for say 6 months. After sixth month, Adidas now knows, okay, Santosh on an average runs for 30 minutes in a day. He does 10 kilometers. His speed is on an average is 5 kilometers per hour. And then his heartbeat usually is around 80 times a minute. So Adidas will have this kind of data. So what happens is now this every time, every day you run, your current today's data will be uh, compared with your averages. And if your performance is very bad, I mean, say Santosh has actually taken, usually runs 10 kilometers in a day, but today he ran only 5 kilometers. So what does Adidas do is it will make a note of that particular day. And if your performance is consistently below your average over a period of time, then Adidas will make a decision. It will make a decision as to either you are not well or your shoe is worn out. So these are the only two things which can happen. See, if consistently, if you're not performing well, you're not keeping well, or your shoe is not good. So now, if you're not well, Adidas cannot do anything about it. But if your shoe is worn out, I mean, if your shoe is gone, I mean, now you'll have to replace. This is an opportunity for Adidas to retain its customer. So after your shoe, Adidas shoe is spoiled, you can go ahead and buy a Reebok shoe or a Nike shoe or anything, right? But since you are an Adidas customer, I want to retain you. So what will I do is I will send you a discount coupon for Adidas. So I'll send you a 25% discount coupon. By this, what will happen? You will go ahead and buy Adidas shoe again. Am I not retaining my customer? Yes, I am. So how did I even come to know that your shoe is worn out? Maybe your shoe is worn out, maybe not. But then sending out one coupon to you does not cost me anything, right? So I will send out a coupon. You use it or you don't use it. That's my best chance to retain my customer. So that is what Adidas did, and then it is pretty much very highly successful. And in the US, it is so advanced. Adidas is so advanced that what happens is in the morning, if you Adidas has identified that your shoe has worn out, you come out of the house and then you're taking a cab. uh, if the cab has if the cab has the display of advertising, everything is linked now. So Google knows where you are. Absolutely, it absolutely knows what you're doing at any point of time. So Google will give a lead to Adidas, and then Adidas will display a specific advertisement only for you in that particular cab where you are going. So it is targeted advertising. So and if so thereby what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that I will retain you. So this was a very big business problem which was solved using data. So that is Adidas. So here, anyone, so what can you guess here? Anyone? Shiva, Santosh, and Praveen, you've been silent listeners. Anything which you can guess from this particular photograph. This is also a business problem which was solved. Okay, no problem. So basically, this was a business problem. So these are beer bottles and these are Huggies diapers. So there was a lot of analysis which was done based on data. So so if you go to, so let's take an example of our own DMart. Uh, uh, Krishna, I think. Please go on mute. Yeah, thank you. So, so our own DMart. So, for example, uh, how do they organize their products in the on the shelves? So, can the way? So, the business problem was, is there a way we can identify how we can organize the products on the shelf such that we can increase our sales? So there was a pretty much interesting analysis which was done by Walmart, and then you know what they came up with? If beer bottles and diapers for children are kept besides each other On a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday, the sales of beer bottles increase tremendously. So they did it, and they have converted their shelves to keep beer bottles and diapers besides each other, and their sales grew by close to 60-70 percentage. How did they happen? Why did it happen? How did they come out with it? This particular kind of analysis in statistics is called association rules. And so why does this happen? This happened because it was found out that usually on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's the father who goes out to buy diapers for their children. But then, whenever they are going ahead and picking a bag of diapers, if they see a beer just besides it, the proximity or the percentage of they picking up a case of beer is very high. So that was the case here. And then they were able to prove it that sales have also increased. So, so this is how a store can use data science to increase their sales. So this particular problem was solved. So, so we can teach you this particular technique also. And then it's the same case where if anyone of you have purchased anything on say Flipkart, you see whenever you buy a product below you see recommendations for you. So how do they recommend products? So somebody who bought this also bought this. So these are all based on association rules, and this is called a recommendation engine. So at the end of the course, I'm sure all of you guys would be able to do to write a recommendation engine of your own, and then whenever you open Flipkart and see, okay, this product is there, and then he's also recommending some other product, then you will be able to tell why he is recommending that particular product to you. That's a simple algorithm there. So that's all statistical analysis. So let's move on. So this is another example which was solved by a company called Target. So the idea was, can we predict pregnancy? Yes, they were able to do it. I mean, absolutely. So there was a so how do they do it? I'll just take you through an example. Not an example, it's a real case problem where what did they do is they wanted to increase their sales. So they said, okay, if I am able to predict somebody is going to be pregnant beforehand, I can send discount coupons to them on pregnancy related medicines. So that was the idea. So how did they do it? I mean, so they have started doing it and then they have predicted. So there was a case there was a 14-year-old girl whose father has filed a case against Target in the United States. This is real. And then he said Target is sending pregnancy related coupons to his 14-year-old daughter. And then Target has lost the case, but later on, the father has come out to Target and then he apologized to Target and he said he did not know that his daughter was pregnant. So his daughter was actually pregnant and Target was able to do it. So why do they do it? Is because, see, if I know beforehand, I'll send you a coupon, right? So the same way Adidas wanted to know beforehand that your shoe has worn out. In the same way here, Target wanted to know beforehand how do you do? I mean that somebody is pregnant. So I know what kind of medicine you're going to buy. So I will give you a specific discount coupon on that particular medicine. So you will not go to any other store, but to come to my store and purchase it. So that was the business problem. How did they do it? They've collected a lot of data. Whenever somebody came and walked into their store, what did they do is they've gone ahead and then asked for their permission. Okay, looks like you're pregnant. Can we track the products which you are buying specifically? Whoever said yes, they've started tracking them over a period of 2 years. They've collected data and then they did some statistical analysis on that, and then they came out with some specific rules. Okay, if you buy this, and this, then probably you are pregnant. So they came up with these kinds of rules. So these kinds of algorithm is called a decision tree algorithm. So they use the decision tree algorithm or a random forest algorithm in order to come out with this. So at the end of the course, you will also have nice expertise in running these kinds of algorithms also. So that's one business problem. Here we go. And then this particular case was with Revlon, who is into making beauty products. So basically, this was in China. So Revlon was opening its new store. Say for example, let's take the example of say Forum Mall. So Revlon wanted is opening its store say tomorrow at 6 p.m. and uh, so it wanted to know who is going to be around the store at that particular time tomorrow. So trying to predict. So it's like Arun, uh, where would somebody be, or say where would Shiva be on next Sunday at 3 p.m. Will I be able to predict it? They were able to predict it pretty much very accurately. So why do they wanted to predict this? Because they again wanted to send out coupons there. So it's an opening day. It's a big opening. It's a big store. They have so if I'm opening tomorrow at 6 p.m. and I'm sending out coupons to somebody who's not going to be around that place, there is no point, right? Why do I have to send coupon to 1,000 people if only 10 people out of those 1,000 people are going to be around that store when I am actually opening it? There is no point. So if what if I will send only to see if I send to 1,000 people, only 10 people turn out, then that is only 1% accuracy. What if I send only to 100 people and then also only 10 people turn out? Then my accuracy is 10%, right? So how did my accuracy percentage has increased 1,000 times here? So that's the idea. So how do they do it? Again, this for this particular problem, they used telecom related data. So what did they do is over a period of 6 months, they have collected. So in this area where this store was being opened, they've collected there is a tower. There was a telecom tower. So whose mobiles were connected to that particular tower? So they have collected that kind of data and using that kind of data, they predicted, okay, using some statistical analysis, they were able to predict that who is going to be where at what point of time. So sounds scary, but yes, this can be done. And people are doing it already. So if you're active on your Google on your mobile, so Google knows everything, where you're going, everything, absolutely everything. So that was a business problem there. And and then after predicting who all are going to be in that particular area, they have sent out a discount coupons, and I don't remember the exact number, but I think they were pretty much 26% accurate out of 100, every 100 people to whom they have sent out the coupons to, 26 people purchased some or the other product on that particular opening day. So that's pretty amazing actually. So I said we'll come back to creativity and data visualization, right? So why is creativity and data visualization very important? So before moving to this, I would like to quote another example here also. So recently I have come across a project which Chrome was doing. Chroma is a physical electronic store we have here in Panjaguta. So what happens is what they are trying to do is what if I know that you're trying to purchase a refrigerator before you even come to my store. So what happens is these days, how everybody before buying a new product, the first thing they do is they will go ahead and start searching on Google first. So first thing they do is new refrigerators. They will search for online prices. What are the different kinds of models available? Since Google knows it that you're currently searching, so what does Google do is it will send a lead to Chroma, and then on that particular day you've searched in the morning, and then you're moving towards your office. Say you're crossing Panjaguta, and then suddenly Chrome is there around 300 meters from your store, and then you will see on your mobile Chrome is offering discounts, 20% discounts on refrigerators only for you. So what do you at this moment in time? What will you think is, wow, this is the right time. I've got the coupon. I let me go ahead, discount coupon. Let me go ahead and purchase. But then it's not your luck. It's actually you are being actually targeted by some statistical analysis there that you're going to purchase the refrigerator. But usually what we think is we'll go ahead and then this discount might not come again, and then we'll go ahead and then purchase it. So that was the idea there. So they were able to solve it, and then so they're doing good business. So so here I want somebody to talk. I mean, so what does this graph look like? Anybody? Nagendra, Praveen, Santosh, Shiva, anybody, anything, whatever comes to your mind. What's up, guys? Krishna has also joined us.
Yes, I did.
So, what do you think, Krishna? What is this graph all about?
Same thing. That day I told it looks like a blade.
Oh, you are there. Okay. Okay. So, for the rest of the guys here, so this is a data visualization. Krishna, can you go on mute? Yeah, thank you. So, this is a data visualization. So, why did I say creativity is very important? Is because so this is the data of the number of deaths in Iraq. Number of deaths in Iraq. So can you see this is like blood dripping from a wall. So basically this is a very simple graph. So you must have idea about how a bar graph looks like. So, for example, a bar graph is pretty much simple. Okay. So this is how a bar graph will look like simple bar graph. So what did they do is they have plotted a bar graph and then they have inverted it. So they just have inverted the bar graph. So, come on, sorry. So this is the first time I'm using an online writing board, so a little difficult for me. So if I have inverted this bar graph, it looks like blood. So basically they have did that. So yeah. So for this kind of a visualization, do I even have to try sit and explain anything to anybody, or is it self-explanatory? This is pretty much self-explanatory, right? So anybody who is looking into it can understand, okay, how it is, and then I don't even have to explain. I just have to project this and then keep quiet for a couple of minutes, and people will understand. Okay, in this particular era, in this particular time period, the depths were too high, and then now it has decreased. So I could have shown this as a normal bar graph also, but the impact would have been less. But if I show the bar graph like this, the impact is very high. I mean, you can literally make your stakeholder or customer understand what you're trying to explain to them. So this is where creativity and data visualization comes into place, which is very, very important. So this visualization was created in Tableau, and it is pretty much simple to create this kind of a visualization. So in this course, we are also going to teach you Tableau for data visualization, and you might not be an expert in this area, but then you can happily go ahead and write it in your resume that you have worked on Tableau data visualization and have created reports. To that extent, yes, we can give you that knowledge. And it's pretty much simple after we go through the class. So I'll probably dedicate one whole session for Tableau. After that, you guys can go ahead and download trial versions of Tableau on your own desktops or laptops, and then you can try out. Do not download Tableau trial versions right now, because I am going to probably teach this class after 2 weeks. By then, your trial version will expire. So don't do it right now. We can do it. I'll inform you guys after I teach that particular session on Tableau. You can then go ahead and then install the trial version, and then you can try it for around 15 days. And then this is another example of data visualization where this is called a geo plotted graph. So this graph shows the child mortality rate, I mean infant mortality rate. So, so if I could have given this graph as a list, so list I mean say I can have one, two, three, four, and then I can have the country name, uh, and I can have the number. Say I can have 1,000, and then some other country name. I can have 2,000, some other country name. So I could have given this list. But if I give this list, the number of countries which I have listed down should be maybe 500 countries. So it is not easy for somebody to go ahead and read each and every country's name and their infant mortality rate number. So, but if I give this kind of a graph, it is pretty much easy, right? I can go ahead and see, okay, it's in, so usually Africa has very high mortality rate, and this particular country specifically has absolutely very high mortality rate. India is not far behind, but okay, we are better off when compared to a lot many countries in Africa. You see, in United States, the color is, I mean, too less. I mean, it's very low. But then in North America, if you see Argentina, there is a little bright color. So this kind of representation of data is called a heat map. So if you see lighter the color, the lower the number, darker the color, higher the number. So this is called a heat map. So data visualization can be done in, there are many kinds of representations. There is heat map, there is inverted bar graphs, which we have seen earlier. There is geoplotted graphs. There are scatter plots, line charts. So we'll teach you all how to make create all of this in Tableau. And so there is no rule that you will have to use this graph for this kind of a data. It's basically depends on your own judgment. So that's about data visualization. So that's data science for you very briefly. What do we offer at the end of the course? Uh, I am pretty confident that you will be an expert. I wouldn't say expert. You would have very good knowledge on major of the major data science kind of a problems and statistical techniques. And we will also briefly touch upon what artificial intelligence is and what machine learning is. And we will also train you on three or four techniques, excuse me, three or four techniques related to the artificial intelligence. Three or four techniques related to artificial intelligence also we are going to touch. So, okay, looks like Shiva. Yeah, Shiva, I've seen that. So, who is new to the demo? Who has attended the demo for the first time today?
Nagendra.
Okay, Nagendra. Praveen, have you attended before? Praveen Santosh. Shiva said he did. Krishna said he did.
Yes, sir, we
I
are
mean, in
attended in
artificial.
classroom.
Praveen, I did not get you.
Sir, we are attended your
Okay,
classroom, sir.
perfect.
Institution.
Okay, okay, so it's just Nagendra. Okay, Santosh is also new. Okay. So for the sake of Santosh and Nagendra, just quickly let's dedicate 5 minutes for what artificial intelligence is and what machine learning is. Uh, so basically, so this question is for Nagendra and Santosh. So Nagendra and Santosh, can you guys tell me what's the next number here?
Obviously, 6.
Perfect. Santosh is also so okay. So can you tell me what comes after this number? I know you guys know it already. Don't worry about it, right?
6.
Santosh, what happened? This is all one number. I'm not asking you to write number here. I wanted you to give me the next number here. Okay, so it's pretty simple, right? So did you guys actually learn numbers till here? No, right? You probably must have learned or by hearted numbers till 99 or 100. After that, after that you know the sequence, how does it come, right? So how did you do it? So there is a learning process which happens in your mind. So you have learned it till here, and then after that you know how to increment the numbers. Even if I give you a number with say 1 lakh digits, you will be able to tell me the next number. So this way of thinking which a human does. If we are able to give that particular way of thinking to a system, it becomes artificial intelligence. So 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 I will teach a system how to write 1 to 100. After that, it should be able to tell me the answer for the next number for this number. Can we do it? Yes, we can do it. How do we do it? It's using machine learning. What is it called? It's called artificial intelligence. Pretty much simple. So I personally tried one business problem here. So which is like this. Can you tell me what's the next number here? Pretty much simple, no? I'm only writing squares here. 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. And this is 6 square. So I gave this kind of a number series until 100 square. Until 100 square was my input data, and then I have used an algorithm called neural networks. Neural networks is an artificial intelligence algorithm. I've used it, and then I wanted to predict the next number. It absolutely gave me the correct number of 101 square. It did not give me the exact number, but say for example 101 square, if the actual answer was say 1459, the algorithm predicted 1453, which is pretty much accurate, right? I'm okay with it. So how do we do it? So that's the artificial intelligence, and that is called machine learning. So that's pretty much very simple. And so that's about artificial intelligence and machine learning. We will touch upon 3 or 4 basic artificial intelligence related techniques. And then that would be the last stage where machine learning is the pretty complex thing. We'll do that as the last one. So what do we offer? We will give you data visualization. We will take you through what simple statistical analysis means, how to derive insights from the data, how to how to combine a problem statement with the data insights which we have generated, uh, data visualization, how to present your analysis to the end customer, and we will also touch upon artificial intelligence and machine learning. We will do everything on R, so you should be able to, at the end of the course, you will be able to write a program of artificial intelligence on R, that's for sure. And if you guys have any questions, want to know anything more about it.
Okay, in artificial intelligence, what are the topics you're going to cover?
Okay, we shouldn't call it as artificial intelligence. We should call it as machine learning. We will cover neural networks, support vector machines, Bayesian Bayesian theorems. Oh, there are many. There are close to 25, 30 of them, but then mostly we will cover, in detail, we will cover neural networks and support vector machines. We can also do deep learning also. Deep learning is an advanced version of artificial intelligence. Yeah, Santosh, please go ahead. Unmute yourself and then you can ask your question. Or you can type on the chat, I will read it out. Okay. I'm from database background. Is data science good for me to choose? How are the positions and openings? Absolutely. See, uh, since you're already have a database background, You know what data looks like, and data science specifically, I wouldn't say data science. There is You should have this kind of an experience before in order to be a data science. There is nothing of that kind. Anybody can be a data scientist, provided you are good with numbers. You enjoy doing math. So daily activity, what you do going to offices, you're trying to do mathematics. So as long as you enjoy that, it's absolutely perfect. How are the positions and openings? Just yesterday itself, I have gone across through an article which says there are at least minimum 50,000 openings available for a data scientist kind of a role. Currently, there are at least 10,000 openings available, and in the next 2-3 years, there will be 50,000 openings. And the skill set, the people with this kind of a skill set who are available in the market are less than 2,000 or 3,000 people. So there is a huge shortage of skilled people in this particular area. So you shouldn't absolutely worry about the openings at all. You just have to see how do you get there. For example, how do you uh, take your past experience? You cannot go ahead into the market and say I have did this particular course and now I want to become a data scientist. You shouldn't be doing that. How do you do it is, say if you have an overall experience of 6 years or 5 years as a with a DB background, you will have to try and relate your last 2-3 years, that how what kind of analysis which you did with data. So since we are anyways going to teach you different statistical techniques, you are a better judge of your own data. Okay, this particular data, in this particular data, what statistical analysis can be done? You will have to think through it and then update your resume accordingly and then get into the market. In this way, it becomes pretty much very easy, rather than going into the market and then telling I worked as a data scientist for 2 years, and then don't do that. Try and relate your past experience to your data science kind of a knowledge which we are going to gain. Uh, uh, if that sounds pretty much difficult for you to do it, then at the end of the session after we are done, I can dedicate 1 hour with each one of you and then know the kind of work which you're currently doing, understand your work, and then I can give you ideas as to how you can link your current work to a data science kind of a role, and then you can update your resume accordingly. Uh, so Santosh, does that answer your question? 3 years of experience, is it okay for me to put resume on data science? Absolutely, absolutely. It's pretty much easy. The number of, as your experience grows, it becomes difficult. So only 3 years, right? So it's pretty much easier. You can say in the last 1 year I have been doing data science kind of a role. And then if somebody says, why do you want to move? You can absolutely say this is the niche area. I mean, this is where I look the career to grow, the future to grow. So that's the reason why I want to move. For somebody who has 10 years of experience, it becomes very difficult for them to answer. So that is where you will have to try and bring in your current experience and current work and then try to club them. But for you, it should be pretty easy. We can sit and then see what your current work experience or work area is, and then see how we can convert that in as to a data science kind of a role. I'm not asking you to put your experience as a data scientist for 3 years. I'm asking you to put that I did data science kind of work in my current role also, but now I want to transition into a pure data science kind of a role. That is how you project yourself. Anybody else? Any other questions? With regards to the roles, openings, job opportunities, they are huge, absolutely huge. I mean, this is the area where you will have to be. I mean, if you move into this area, if you study hard for the next 3-4 months and then really work hard for this 1 year, I'm sure your next 10 years, you don't have to change your technology, learn anything new. We all know, being in the IT field, we will have to upgrade ourselves very frequently. New technologies comes up very frequently, but I'm sure if you learn for this 4 or 5 months, if you work hard and then spend around six months to get a new job and move into it, next 10 years you don't have to think about it. You're pretty secure for the next 10 years. That's I'm sure about. And anything else, guys? So even from the classes which we are going to start off from tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about anything. I mean, for example, since so I will be using a board of this kind where if I am going to teach you any of the equations, I'll be able to write those equations. For example, if you're going through a linear regression, so I will be able to happily write the equation. So this is a simple equation. Let's not get into it, but just for your comfort, so I can use this board. So this is a linear regression equation, beta n xn. So I will use a board of this kind. I will save this particular board, workbook, and then I will send it across to you. So you can keep this for your future references. So you don't even have to make notes of anything. So it's going to be very interactive, and don't worry how math can be taught online or how equations can be taught. So we can pretty much write it down and then show it to you. Not a problem at all. So Nagendra says, I am mainframe background. Nagendra, you will have to move out of mainframes immediately. Uh, so mainframes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I don't know what are mainframes used anywhere yet. I mean, I'm shocked. Prerequisites, Nagendra, there is no prerequisites at all. I mean, there is nothing. As long as you're able to link your current work experience into the kind of role or this kind of work, you should be fine. There is no prerequisites at all. So nobody will ask. I mean, if you are good at mathematics, this is game for you. You can absolutely jump in and then do it. Did I miss any other questions? Okay, Santosh is asking if for 1 year's positions are there. Santosh, currently data science is absolutely new. So your overall experience is 3 years, right? So you wouldn't say 1 year. You would say my overall experience is 3 years and 1 year into data science. That is how you will project it. And since this field itself is new, so most of the times people who get into this job, so you will have to look at it like this. For somebody who has 6 years work experience and has 2 years data science experience is as equivalent as you, because you have 3 years work experience and 1 year into data science. Data science is new for everybody, Sandosh. It's not you, because this is not being taught in any of the colleges, right? When you're doing your BTechs or MBAs, this is not being taught. So it's new for everybody. So people currently are looking at, there is so much deficiency. I mean, there is no skilled person available in the market that I cannot even go ahead and say that you only have 1 year experience. With my experience, I'm telling you, in my own company, we have openings which are open in the last 6 months. We don't find the right candidate to fill that position. That's how it is. So if you work hard, gain knowledge, it should be pretty easy to crack. Anything else? So anything else for you guys? So Praveen, Santosh, Shiva, Krishna. Anything else you want like to know?
Hello, sir. Praveen.
Hi, Praveen.
Sir, actually, I'm a mechanical background student. In interview, they will ask to me why are you choosing this way? Because already you done mechanical engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
how could I answer it?
don't worry, Praveen, I am an electrical engineer. Nobody asked me that question. So it's
Uh,
nobody will ask you that question, Praveen. It's as long as your interest is there, people see, at least I have seen people now trying to they're not binding themselves to a specific kind of requirements. As long as you can do what I want, I am ready to take you. So it's not a problem at all. I mean, I don't see that as a question at all. So for me, I am an electrical engineer. Nobody
Yes,
questioned me at any point of time.
yes, sir. We know already about that programming. Actually, we have in engineering C language, but
Mhm.
we didn't hear about that. But there is in software data science also. We need a program. Program is necessary in data science.
See,
So,
programming is there, Praveen. Absolutely. I wouldn't deny that there is no programming involved in data science. Programming is involved in data science. But what I am trying to explain to you is the kind of programming which is involved in data science is pretty simple. Absolutely very, very simple. Uh, I mean, see, there are hardly 10 or different lines of codes you should be able to learn, which I will definitely teach you. If you want, we can. Uh, uh, so we also have a course. We see every technique which I am going to teach you is going to be in R. So we will also share the R code with you. So you don't even have to write
oh,
your own code. Going forward, what you can do is you can just see what happens is can let me open my R if I have it here. I'm not sure. I'll just show you how does it look and what programming am I talking about.
sir.
Okay, so this is how R looks like. Okay, so these are all the libraries. Don't worry about them right now. It's pretty simple. I'll take you through. Okay, so for the sake of privacy, for example, this particular line item which is there, this particular line, this loads the data into R from my folder. Okay, so this is the only way to load the data. I will give you this line. What you will have to do is you only have to change this part. What is this? This is a folder location,
Excuse me,
right?
sir.
Yep.
Sir, video is not available, sir. We are showing only linear regression slide only.
Okay. One second.
Can you check it?
Are you able to see now?
Ah, yes, sir.
Okay. So this is R. So this is how R looks like. So for example, this is my first line of code. Okay. So this particular line loads data into R. So what am I doing? Read.csv is the command, and I'm giving my folder location, and this is the file which I want to load into R. So what you will have to do going forward is only change this location, right? So I'm sure you will be able to do this, right? This is pretty simple, no? There is nothing else you will have to do. So I will share these kinds of codes with you. You can go ahead and use them. And what I'll do is I will also give you an explanation like this to load data into R. I will give you an explanation. I will add tags of this kind. You can go ahead and use this. So this particular code runs a machine learning algorithm called linear discriminant principal component analysis. Principal component analysis is a machine learning kind of an algorithm. So I will give you this code. You can just go ahead and use the same code, copy paste it, and then use it, right? That's something which you can use. I will teach you how to use it and also share the code with you. Shouldn't be a problem at all. But Praveen, you will have to learn it. I mean, there is no way out of it. Or there are other techniques called there is Excel miner, something called Excel miner is there. You can use that. Excel miner is basically click based, so it's an integrated into Excel. All you'll have to do is use your mouse to run linear regression. You'll have to select the data using your mouse and then click a few buttons here and there, and then it will give you the linear regression output. So here we will also teach you Excel miner. So that's there. So since we have come across principal component analysis, I'll give you a simple example of where principal component is analysis is used. Have you guys all heard about driverless cars? Google has come up with driverless cars. Uber has come up with driverless cars. So they use principal component analysis to drive their driverless cars. So that's the analysis they do. How do they do it? That's pretty complex, but I can take you through it. Not a problem at all. So Praveen, did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. I have another one small doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, these are driverless cars depending on its
I'm
learning AI.
Praveen, I'm sorry, it wasn't clear.
Sir, these driverless cars,
Uh-huh.
which depending on the data science or AI or machine learning.
See, data
Do you think
science, it is all same, Praveen. Data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, it's all same. You cannot differentiate
okay?
them like that. They're part of, see, machine learning is artificial intelligence. How do you implement artificial intelligence? It's using machine learning. Well,
Yes,
who
sir.
does it? Is a data scientist. It's all same.
It will be start with the data scientist.
It's all same. I mean, you cannot differentiate it like that, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, okay, sir.
So it's like a very vague example. It's like a lion, tiger, and cheetah all belong to cat family.
Yes, sir.
So it's the same thing. So machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science all belong to the same family. So you cannot differentiate them like that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anything else? Did I miss any questions on the chat box? If or we can connect again tomorrow. So should we start tomorrow, same time? So let's move off, start our actual classes. Looks like okay, no more questions. So let's call it a day for today. So let's see. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Praveen. Have a good day. Nagendra, Santosh, Shiva, Krishna.
Uh, Hi, Venu. I pinged some questions.
Okay, please go ahead. Okay, you pinged
No, I
questions.
pinged
Okay, let
you.
me read. Okay, let me read.
Okay.
Okay, only the last question.
See,
And how many years of experience? Okay, you pinged it twice. Okay, my total work experience is over 13 years now, and last 5 years into data science. Where am I working? I want to keep it confidential. I'm sorry, Nagendra.
okay, fine. Just the sake of, I mean, how, organizations are using currently. So
How
that purpose.
organizations are using currently? You name the organization. I'll give you an example. About which organization do you want to know? Seriously, you tell me an organization, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Anything, finance
Okay.
domain, e-commerce domain. See, I'll tell you a simple example. How Flipkart is using data scientists? Flipkart, I've just told you, right? You're buying a product. Below you will have people who bought this also bought this. That's called a recommendation engine. So that's a data scientist kind of a role. Okay. For example, if you move
Okay.
to stock markets, how do they use data science? Based on data, they want to predict the price of a stock. That's
Okay.
data science. If you move to
Okay.
a retail store, for example, Ratnadeep is there. So if you have observed, Ratnadeep does not have same kind of products across all places. For example, Ratnadeep in Yusufgura will have tea powder packets of 100 grams also. If you go to Banjara Hills Ratnadeep, Ratnadeep will not have 100 grams tea packet powders. They will only have 1 kg tea packet powders. Why? Because using data, they have analyzed that in Yusufgura, people who come to Yusufgura, people who live around Yusufgura usually do not purchase a 1 kg packet. Why should Ratnadeep keep that in store and then the shelf will be occupied and there will be no sales? So they will not do it. So they know there is only 100 grams packet which they will be able to sell in Yusufgura, and they will not be able to sell 100 grams packet in Banjara Hills. So that is how they will analyze which product to keep where and what product to keep where. So that's data science in a retail industry. So there is data science
That's
everywhere, everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So there was one analysis which I came across. This was long back. There was one person who was invented. If you guys have an idea about what IoT is, Internet of Things. Internet of Things means everything is being connected to the internet. So he came up with an idea. So he invented a new chip, the same way what Adidas did. He invented a chip. But this chip, what does this do? This reads when and how many times in a day his mom is opening the refrigerator. So he did that analysis, and then he's come up with some averages. So there was one particular day on which, and he came up, he said, from morning 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, his refrigerator is usually being opened 16 or 17 times. Do we guys agree? Usually it is in the mornings that we open the refrigerator many times. Okay, so he came up with that analysis, and after there was one day where, and then he linked everything to his mobile. There was one day where his refrigerator was open only twice in that particular time period. Okay, so immediately he called up. Is something wrong? Why is mom not opening the refrigerator so many times? And he called home, and then his mom was actually having a heart attack. So he immediately rushed her to the hospital. So that's how data science was used there. So you name a business case. So it's not where we can use data science. You should now be thinking how you can use data science in my day-to-day problem. You can use data science everywhere. You will have to think how.
uh, so I think in the data science also there is a data mining. So how
Oh, it's part. Data mining is part of data
it
science.
is
It is not different. It is not different. We are also going to teach you data mining.
okay.
Anything somebody pasted in the chat which I missed? Okay, we'll may wait for another 10 seconds for any other questions. After the session is closed, if you still have any questions, you can reach out to the institution. They will forward the questions to me. I'll get back to you guys, or I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Hello, sir.
Hi, who is this?
Praveen, sir.
Yeah, Praveen.
Sir, data science will be depending on statistics probability or any other type of math,
No, it's all statistics and probability.
only stats and probability.
Yeah, if you want to learn how a linear regression runs, see, running the linear regression is one thing, understanding the output is one thing. For to understand the output and presenting it to the client, it's all statistics and probability. But to understand the linear regression algorithm itself, how did it is even written, then it is calculus. And I don't see a point where we really want to get into how a linear regression is written. It is not useful. Nobody will ask you that. If you have interest, please tell me. I can take you through it. That's all calculus.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, Praveen. Anything else? Santosh is done. Shiva, okay, we already spoke. So can we call it a day? Okay, let's meet tomorrow at 7. Let's get started with the classes. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye, Santosh. Bye, Nagendra.
Good night.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Somebody said good night.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Take care. Take care. Have a good day. Have a good rest of the day. Bye bye.
Bye, sir.